Thank you and welcome to visiting my channel. I am going to get right into this one. And this is 12 things that you should never share with anyone, right? Because you want to use discernment when you are in any type of friendship or relationship or connection. So let's get right into it. Now, your deepest insecurities. This is something you should never tell because you never give someone the blueprint to your self-doubt. Once people know what makes you question yourself, they can use it to subtly control or disarm you. So keep your healing sacred, not hidden, but protected. And your family's number two would be your family's private struggles. Whether it's family conflict, financial hardship, or generational wounds, protect your roots. People will judge the soil you came from before understanding the fruit you've become. Number three, your financial details. What you make, what you owe, or what you own, keep it private. Money exposes motives faster than love does. Number four, your long term strategy or next move. Never reveal your next move until it's solid. Some people only clap so they can count your steps. Let results speak before words do. The secrets others trusted you with. This is number five. Your integrity is your unseen resume. If you break one confidence, they'll assume you'll break theirs too, even if they smile while you do it. Six, your passwords, your private thoughts, or unfiltered opinions. Emotional intimacy doesn't require total transparency. Privacy isn't deception, it's discernment. Number seven, what you know about others, especially mutual people. Talking about others is the fastest way to become someone else's topic when you leave the room. Number eight, your spiritual experiences or prophetic dreams until you're sure of who's listening. Some people will dismiss what's divine in you just because it didn't come through them. Share revelation only with those who won't twist it into reputation. Number nine, your triggers and weak spots. Not everyone deserves to know where your armor cracks. Boundaries are how you teach people what parts of you are earned and not accessed. Number 10, who you're attracted to, whether that be in work or friendship circles. Attraction confuses dynamics. In the wrong environment, it turns respect into gossip fuel. So protect your peace over your curiosity. Number 11, how much you know about them. Never let someone else know exactly how much you've discerned. Wisdom doesn't announce itself. It observes quietly until it's time to move. Number 12, who you don't like or don't trust. Let your actions reveal your discernment. Silence keeps you safe from unnecessary confrontation or manipulation. Now, there's a principle in all of this. Transparency without discernment is self betrayal. You owe people honesty and not access. And I want to go in a little further and discuss that principle. Now, you ever tell somebody something that felt sacred and you could almost feel the energy shift right after? That moment when you realize I just handed them the weapon they might use later. See, we were raised to believe that honesty means exposure, that love means full disclosure, that connection means letting people see everything. But I learned sometimes the soul bleeds because we confuse access with intimacy. Transparency without discernment is self-betrayal. It's like it's like leaving your front door wide open in a neighborhood you don't even know. You might call it trust, but what it really is unprotected truth. Now, when you fall in love, your heart wants to hand someone the blueprint to your being. You start saying things like, I just want you to know the real me. I've never told anyone this before. But here's the truth, not everyone can hold the real you without dropping it. Some people want to know you just enough to manage you. They study your patterns, your pain, your soft spots, and then when the storm hits, they use your own transparency as evidence against you. That's not love, that's emotional espionage. When your heart is prophetic, you feel love before you understand it. And if you're not careful, you'll start mistaking recognition for safety. You'll think, they see me, when in reality, they just spotted your light and wanted to own it. The soul knows who's meant to hold its secrets. Love doesn't need every detail to be real, it needs respect to be sacred. If a person requires your total exposure to believe in your connection, they're not looking for love, they're looking for leverage. So guard your revelation until it's earned, because some people only clap for your vulnerability to find the crack in your armor. Work isn't, and let's talk about work, because at work sometimes sharing can become surveillance, because work isn't just about skill, it's about energy exchange. Every job has politics, alliances, and hidden agendas, and every environment has watchers, people who smile while taking mental notes. That's why you don't tell coworkers your personal storms. You don't let them know you're tired, grieving, or second guessing your purpose. Because what you see as humanity, they'll interpret as liability. When you start shining too bright, suddenly someone wants to mentor. They want to mentor you just to monitor you. They'll say, we're family here, while quietly writing reports with your name on it. That literally happened to me, truly happened to me, and the person slipped. I was reassigned to a new department, and the person that I was working alongside, the other manager, little did I know that the person that was supervising us, that we reported to, had me moved because they couldn't figure me out. I wouldn't do certain things. I would just, if it wasn't right, you just can't get me to do it. So when the switch happened, I knew it came on the heels of something else. So I was curious, skeptical, and I had to have my guard up. And so at the end of my first day, God does wonderful things. The person that was managing the department with me sent out an email to who was managing us to say whether or not I had a good day, what was I doing, and it was just weird. But it accidentally got sent to the entire department. And in that, it was like everyone else was like upset and what is this? This is crazy. But I was like thanking God, because then I knew it was confirmed why I was sent to that department. So we always have to be on guard sometimes. Don't, even if you don't have confirmation, if you are believing something based on what you understand, take note of it. And if it's meant for you to learn it, you will discern it at the right time. But let me go further. Discernment at work means understanding that not everybody who eats with you wants to see you eat. Some are studying your seasoning. Move quietly. Let your results be the loudest thing in the room. If they ask what's next for you, say growth. If they ask what's your 5-year plan, say obedience. Not every question deserves an answer, especially when the motive isn't curiosity but control. Transparency is sacred, but when it's poured into the wrong vessel, it becomes evidence, gossip, or ammunition. Protect your calling from casual conversations. And what about in friendship? Because friendship should feel like home, but sometimes the people you trust are only there to keep score. They don't listen to understand, they listen to measure. You'll say, for instance, I'm struggling. And instead of comfort, you get distance or quiet satisfaction, because it feels good for them to know that you're struggling, right? Because jealousy doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just folds its arms and watches your downfall in silence. That's why discernment is the compass of connection. Not everyone who gets you will guard you. Some people are familiar with your past but unqualified for your future. When you tell a friend too much, you hand them a map they might later use to justify why you don't deserve what's next. Protect your growth from spectators. If your friendship requires you to overshare to prove closeness, it's not closeness, it's performance. They're being fake. There's a motive behind their closeness, their proximity to you. Because a real friend doesn't need all your pain to validate your bond. They can stand beside your silence and still feel connected. And there's a spiritual law. When you overshare, you drain the spiritual power of what was meant to be cultivated in silence. There's a reason prophets fasted before speaking. There's a reason visionaries protected their dreams until the appointed time. Every revelation loses a measure of potency when exposed prematurely. Some things need incubation, not explanation. Your spirit knows when it's time to speak and when it's time to stay silent. Transparency without discernment is self betrayal because it turns sacred knowledge into public property. And once your truth is out there, you can't control the hands it lands in. So speak from healing, not from hunger. Don't reveal because you crave connection. Reveal because the time is right and the listener is ready. When you finally learn to hold your peace instead of proving your purity, you step into power. Because maturity isn't about how open you are, it's about how selective you've become. You can love openly and still live guarded. You can forgive fully and still protect your privacy. The next level of your life doesn't require more exposure, it requires more alignment. Less talking, more trusting. Not of people, but of discernment. Now, let me just give you a reminder. You don't owe anyone full access just because they show interest. You don't have to empty yourself to prove you're genuine. Silence is still spiritual. Privacy is still protection. And the ones meant for you won't need your transparency to understand your truth. They'll feel it because discernment is divine translation. Stay covered, stay conscious, stay undefeated, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.